Did you see that? I just got quieter on cue. I'm becoming super pro at harmonica. I might quit my day job. Jennifer's in Boston. Please tell me Boston has nicer weather than Chicago. Katerina, hi. Don't talk about the weather, Katerina. Don't talk about it. Lori, you did it right. Kim Cook, you did it right. Yes. So we're going over the rules because now we're recording, and anybody who's watching can't actually do this if you're watching the recording. However, for those of you who are here, here are the rules. Here's how it works. First of all, I want you to hear me and see me at all times. So if you can't, please just type in the chat area because I want to make sure that happens. I also want to make sure in the chat area, you are not only putting your business URL. Katerina, you did it wrong. You did it wrong. Look at how other people are doing it. http:// we want to know how many kids you have. We want to know as much as you want to tell us. The chat room is a great area for you guys to self-promote. I don't think you realize that, but everybody in here is also watching the chat room, and you guys all have the ability to click through. I talk too much. I can't click through. So this is for everyone else, actually. Also, I actually really, genuinely, authentically, don't you hate all those words? I really want to take your questions at the end, or maybe throughout. So do not fear. Put your questions in here. I would love to know already, what are you doing here? Why are you here? What do you want to know about branding? What don't you understand? But as I'm talking and you think of examples or questions, put them in. I like to leave a couple minutes at the end or maybe more so that we can go over your specific questions because we're all here to learn together. You know what I mean? So the way this whole thing works, I'm very briefly going to introduce myself to those of you who do not yet know me, why we're here. I am then going to go over the theory behind this stuff, why we're here, why are we talking about branding for your business, what is branding for your business. Then I'm going to give you my top tips. I'm going to give you 5 of them. I have 400,000, but we're just going to do 5 today. And then, Julie, hi, you're winning. Liz, you did it. You did it. That's it. And yes, Liz is a shining example. You are welcome to call your kids whatever you want when you're in here. And then at the end, you have to stay, not only because I have tools to give all of you to use for better branding for your business, but for those of you who are not yet members of the FMC, today is the day. Because if you join the FMC today, you, my friend, are going to get lots of fun things. I have prizes that I'm giving out that I'm going to read later. I have VIP coaching one-on-one for you. I've got all sorts of brilliant stuff that I'm not telling you about until the end, okay? All right, it is time. Well, you know what? Let me start by switching my glasses so I can actually see you guys. Look how dramatic that is. That's my version of Mr. Rogers when he, put the shoe in the other hand as he put his shoe on. Don't you miss Mr. Rogers? Are you old enough to miss Mr. Rogers? I miss him. So my glasses change, I just realized, is like my Mr. Rogers shoe thing. Okay. Oh, Katerina, yes, we do. Put the link in, Katerina. Put the link in. They don't know where to go. Put the link in. Okay, links are our favorites in here because everybody gets to click and see things. But do not click away from here because we are about to start. So guys, for those of you, a lot of you know who I am, forgive me, but for those of you who don't know and are watching for the first time, hi, I'm Jill Salzman, and I run the Founding Moms. And I do it because a couple things. I started my very first business in 2005 when I was 12. And I managed bands for a living. I sent them out on tour. I did their publicity. I did their booking. Always wanted to look like Madonna. That's why I'm wearing these hand thingies. So I was managing bands for about 2 years, and then I started my second business selling baby jewelry. So I have it right here. So I took these sterling silver anklets with bells on them that I imported from Thailand. My hair's in the way. Can you see them? They're so cute. They're tiny. They go on a little baby ankle. I used to call them the original tracking device. And I took my then 6-month-old to Target, and we did a little photo shoot, and I called them Bumble Bells. I never get the centering right. And I started my second business. So I was running a product-based business, and then a service-based business, and then I was doing a product-based business. So I was doing both at the same time for roughly 5 years, 3 years at the same time. And I started going crazy. And I started realizing, oh my God, maybe I really am crazy, but how do I do this business thing with kids? And so I started a meetup 9 years ago. And we're still, Katerina is now leading, we are still meeting up every single week in Chicago. But I started in Oak Park, where we also meet. And I said, hey, if you're a mom with a business and a baby, come and meet with me. And you did. And here we are. We're 9 years later. We have founding exchanges in lots and lots of cities. I know a lot of you because you guys show up there. And we have an online community called the Founding Moms Community, full of amazing women like the women who are in the chat area. Raise your hand if you're an FMC member, because you guys need to get to know these inspiring women. They're doing amazing things. And a lot of them are here. And we all love each other, and we all help each other, and we're all going to make millions of dollars if we're not already. And so inside the FMC, we have video courses we release every month. We do these webinars every month outside of the FMC. We have Facebook Lives in there. We have weekly challenges, soon to be monthly challenges in there to really get your fires going. Regina, hello. Yeah, 70s, I know. P.S. commentary on, first of all, the gloves are 80s. Second of all, my daughter bought this necklace because they had a 70s, I don't know, talent show thing? Anyway, I steal from my children. Moving on. So, we have launched an awful lot in there. We're coming out with a program to help publicize self-published mom entrepreneurs. So even if you're thinking about a book, come on in the FMC. We're going to have our very first retreat this year. Very excited, inspired by FMC members like Regina, who's in here. So anyway, I digress. I'm going to digress a lot. That's part of this webinar thing with me, okay? So, I want to talk to you now. Yeah, Nora! I want to talk to you now. Let's talk branding. As you guys are talking branding, you guys may talk amongst yourselves, but let's get to it, because a lot of you know about branding, hear about branding, even talk about branding, and you're getting it wrong, or you kind of understand it, or you really understand it, but you don't know how to implement it. So let's first talk about the theory behind the stuff. Number one, I don't know why I'm numbering it. Thing you must know overarchingly above all else about branding. Branding is not marketing, okay? When you guys are sending out messaging, when you guys are talking to potential customers and clients, when you guys are doing things that are outgoing, when you're sending out messages, that's marketing, okay? That's not branding. Branding is when you are bringing the customer in. It's when you're inviting people warmly into your business. I don't literally mean a retail space. A lot of you don't have retail space. I mean, how do people feel when they see you? How do people feel when they see your website? How do people feel when they're holding your product? How do people feel when they hang up the phone after you've provided them a service, or you've walked off the stage, or you've sold them a book? What is, and by the way, branding is really, really hard to grasp and really, really hard to talk about, because it is such a feel, not a thinking area, right? And the people who really nail it with branding fully understand that it's not easy to say, oh, this is how I do my branding. Step 1, step 2, step 3. It's not like that. We can talk about marketing that way. We can talk about sales that way. Branding is all about feel, so we're going to try to talk about feel today. So I would love for you guys, first and foremost, to type in the chat room, how do you feel about your own branding? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Or do you feel like, I don't really know what my branding is? Those of you who kind of sort of know and have maybe worked with a designer who has handed you a branding or style guide, how many of you feel confident that that brand matches what you want people to see or feel? So Jennifer, thank you for being very honest. A lot of people put stuff together. They often rely on other designers, other developers, other people who are more advanced than them in the entrepreneurial world to say, oh, this is what you should do. I mean, how many of you have sat down at a coffee? This maybe happens to me once a week. Oh, now that I understand your business, you really should do blank. You really should be blank. And people love to tell you what your brand is. Here's why. First of all, because everyone else knows everything. Second of all, for those of you who get this a lot, like people are constantly telling you, it's because they don't exactly know what your branding is all about, right? Yeah. And I love that Katerina's already pointing out it's more about her. Kim, Excellent point. Branding is a slow process. It takes a long time to figure this stuff out. When you guys hang up from this webinar today, you're not going to walk away and be like, I've got it. I understand my branding completely. It's a morphing. I'm going to make up a lot of terms today. It's slowly going to evolve, and it should. Because if at the end of this webinar you're like, I've got it. I'm all about the word boss, and I want everything to be in glitter, and I want everything to be sparkly, and that's my brand. That's not your brand, okay? That's not your brand. That's how it might look. That's how you're gonna emboss some things, but that's not your brand. That's not how I'm gonna feel about it. I might go, oh, that's so shiny. That's really glittery, but that's not. You're not telling me, right, Regina? Excellent point. Redoing logo and colors. Nora, that is exactly the right track that you want everyone in here to be on. So, first of all, I just want you to get to grasp that marketing goes out like poo-poo and branding comes in like a hug, okay? Not that one is grosser than the other, but we want people to go like, oh, I totally get that, all right? So, number 2, if you're going to give people a feel for how you do business, we want everything to match. We want everything to be in line. So if you guys decide, I'm a really high-end brand, I'm really fancy, everything I wear is silver and sparkly and has hashtags in front of it, and everybody knows that I'm very high class, and then you're offering things for $19.99. You know what I mean? Like, that's not matching. $19,999 matches. So branding involves not only your logo, your website, everything you do, how you greet people, what you're wearing when you leave the house, everything. Because if I left the house looking like, I can't remember her name. Who's the name of the lady who's married to Prince Charles? Kate Middleton. Kate Middleton! I got it! Okay, she's gorgeous. She wears perfect wardrobe. If I left the house looking like that, everybody would think something was wrong because it doesn't match my brand, right? And I'm not saying you guys need to go and shop for a whole new wardrobe. I'm just giving you my own personal thoughts on it and how extreme you can take this thing, right? So if you guys are, I would love for you, Kate is married to William. You know what, Catherine? Thank you for being an English goddess. Okay, can you guys put words right now into the chat area? And if you're not in the chat area, just write this down. What are words that describe your brand? We can go, you can put things down like snobby, a-hole, funny, humorous, warm. Just give me adjectives. Adjectives! I just saw Regina's comment. I'm going to move on. Expansive. Ooh, I don't know what that means. Expansive meaning I'm going to feel expansive when I see your brand, Regina. Katerina, that's awesome. I love that. Katerina, by the way, you dress a lot like Kate Middleton. Jennifer is elegant. Okay, these are gorgeous words. So now you need to take those words and write them on sticky notes and stick them to your laptop or your computer, whatever. And you need to make those happen everywhere. So a lot of you might hand these words to a designer. You might hand these words to yourself and go, okay, my messaging, every email I send out is now going to be elegant. It's going to be strong. It's going to be badass. But then perhaps you send out an invoice and it's templated because QuickBooks made it for you and you didn't change anything in it. And it doesn't match your brand. Or you guys send out, oh, I don't know, a letter to somebody and it's on pink flowery stationery because that's what you had in the living room and your kids handed it to you and you wrote this, but it's not strong the way your brand is. Are you following me? So you guys want to figure out what matches you. This can, by the way, this is all your choice. This can be you guys want the brand to make me feel that way, or this can be a reflection of you. I find that it's easiest to have the strongest kind of brand when what your business looks like is what you are, who you are. So if I can remind you guys to 11-11-11 when I gave that TED Talk and I flat ironed my hair and I had almost all black on, I had a little silver, I looked now in my mind ridiculous for who I am. I am not a flat iron black skirt wearing girl. That's just not me. And the fact that I put that on and thought it would make you all feel like I knew what I was talking about is a massive misconception, and thank God I've learned along the way. And I want you guys to as well. You don't have to wear business suits if that's not you. You have to wear business suits if that's you, okay? There's no one way to do this, and no, even in your own industry, think of your number one competitor. Think of the person who you're a little jealous of who's doing a little better than you. They're probably doing it very differently than you. Just because they're successful doesn't mean that their branding works for your success. I hope I'm making this clear. Are you guys getting it? God, I love your words, bold and edgy. Okay, so I want you guys to think of some giant brands because this is easier to talk about with everybody. Like, let's go from Nike, where I'm going to use the words that Jennifer used. They're bold and edgy. When you see that swoosh, you're not like, oh, it's intimidatingly elegant. You know that's like rock on kind of brand, Nike. Disney, what is their font? It's a script, right? The word Disney is usually in script, and it's a very playful script because they want you to know that they want to play with you. They want to invite you into cartoons and mice, and all kinds of fun, colorful things, right? That you know that from the get-go with the name of their company. What's another one? Oh, I don't know, Apple. Because a lot of us are holding Apple products. And they have moved from a very colorful rainbow-esque apple all the way to like a white or a clear apple because they want you to know that they are refined. They want you to know that they're brilliant. They want you to know that if you buy their stuff, you too will be given the knowledge of the universe and feel like you are the smartest person in the world. Now, just because I look like this doesn't mean I don't enjoy an Apple product, right? So just because you guys are one way with your branding doesn't mean that other people who are different ways won't love you. A lot of people are very scared to come out of their branding shell because they think, well, if I start actually wearing sweats or wearing disco necklaces, that people will run. And you know what? The people who run and don't understand, let them run. Like, goodbye, Forrest. Run away. By the way, guys, a lot of you I know for a long time, you guys know I love to dress up like this. I dress up for every webinar. I wear ridiculous things on Instagram. That's my jam, right? Every week I have somebody I have coffee with or I talk to on the phone who says to me, you really want to think about, you should stop wearing all of these clothes. You should stop looking so ridiculous. You look like a clown. And they're really harsh because they really feel strongly that this is actually diminishing my brand. And to them, I say, thank you, I will. And then I hang up on them. And then I am so grateful that they don't join the FMC because they clearly don't understand that all I'm trying to do is impress upon you that business doesn't have to be boring, that we can all have a lot of fun when we're talking about business, when we're working by day. And that's what I stand for. Katerina, who we have just decided is Kate Middleton. Katerina is leading a founding exchange. She understands my playful look. Would she ever wear what I'm wearing? No. But she gets it while she's her elegant self. That is a matchy-matchy situation that you wouldn't know from how the both of us look. But she gets it. You want people to get you, and that's why I'm suggesting that the truer you are to yourself, the more you can just basically highlight who you are. If you're bold and edgy inside, bring that out more, because even if I'm not bold and edgy, I'm going to love that about you, and I'm going to want some of that, right? You always wanted to be a princess. Oh, I'll bring a tiara to our next meeting. So I think I'm making it clear. Does anybody have questions? And I'm thinking some of you might be going, yeah, but I don't really know how to figure out what that is. Let's move on to the tips. Do you like how I just asked a question for you and then I answered it? Okay, does anybody have questions? I'm going to stop for 1 second. I want you to tell me, if, other than the fact that somebody wants to be a princess, does anybody have questions, or I'm going to move on to my top tips? Nobody has questions. You guys get everything I'm saying. You're amazing. Okay. Oh, FMC members, course number 26. Go watch it after this. It's called Branding Like a Boss. Those of you who've seen it can totally help you out knowing that Danny Schumann, who's the expert in the video, he knows his stuff. He used to do marketing for giant brands like Gatorade. I hope you've heard of them. Thank you, Amanda, for the link. Go click on that afterwards. Go watch Course 26. It is an excellent, excellent branding video for your small business. He now runs Twist Marketing. He's a small business guy. He's awesome. Okay, top 5 tips for branding. Just 5. We can throw in more as we go here. But number 1, they're actually questions. They're not a straight up tip. But I want you guys to write this down because I want you to think about it all month long. What do you believe in? That's really broad. I don't mean what are your politics. I don't mean do you really think that Green Book should have won at the Oscars. You can believe in those things, but what do you believe in at the core? Liz, thank you for saying something. Women work better together. That is amazing. I love that you're in here saying that. What do you guys truly believe in or outside of your business that can be used in your brand? That can be sort of sent out into the world to your customers and clients. So when they see your website, when they see your logo, when they hear you speak, that is sort of infused in your marketing. That's infused in your look. You can write it just like Liz did in the chat area. But I'm saying this because once you know firmly what you believe, not what do I think my customers are going to want to hear. Huge mistake that lots of newbies start out thinking. Well, I want a lot of money, so I want to go after really rich women. And they all really like to read Elle Decor. So does my 11-year-old. And so, therefore, I'm going to tell them all I love Elle Decor, the magazine. Big, huge freaking mistake if you don't love Elle Decor, okay? We're not doing what do the customers and clients want to hear, what do they want to see. We're doing what do you believe in and what do you want to tell customers and clients. Never confuse motion for action. Regina, what does that mean? I don't actually know. But my brain is going at 90 miles an hour. That could be stopping things. So once you have written that down, that's my number 1 tip to you guys today. You need to figure this out. A lot of you have not. A lot of you who have might need to re-examine it. It has evolved since the beginning of last year, perhaps. Maybe something huge happened to you. Maybe you raised your prices. Maybe you guys decided that brown just does not look good on your business card. Whatever your thing is, and as we know from other webinars, I hope you don't have a business card, but I digress. I want you guys to make sure you know what you believe in, and then what you can do is a tiny little audit of everything all over the place. Look at your website. Look at your branding, your materials that you are branding. Look at how you write everywhere. Everywhere. Does that come through? Do I know? If you said to me, hey, Jill, here's what I believe in. If I go right now, and you don't have to do this now, you can do this later. If I go to your website, am I going to see that on every page? Am I going to understand that? And I'm a really easy example. So I'm like a business clown. I'm very playful. When you go to our website, foundingmoms.com, everything is really playful. From the colors to each page to my freaking photos, everything is very, very playful. Because I want you guys to know I want to play with you. You know what I mean? Because I wish we were all still in a sandbox. I'm going to get really emotional. Let's move on. Number 2, tip for branding. Number 2. Oh, hold on. We can rethink by listening to all the things. I feel like we're getting a lot done, but yet we fail to take action. I get it now. That's brilliant. I get it. I was reading too fast. You guys, where are you? What's happening? You guys put in more things while I keep talking. Number 2. These are along withs, not separate from. What is your tone when you write? I don't just mean the copy on your website, which is really important. I don't just mean your newsletter. Hopefully, raise your hand if you have a newsletter, because you should. What I really mean is, in every single email you write, every single email, if you are a person who says, hi, Jill, comma, new line, I'm looking forward to blah, 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 or, hey, Jill, exclamation point. If you're one of those people who wrote down bold, confident, edgy, strong, I want to read that in the email you send me. I want to know who you are the moment I interact with you. You want to start acting your brand so that it gets easier for you to infuse it everywhere, right? So if you guys feel really bold on the inside, and when you guys are in the shower and no one else is home, and I don't know, Madonna's blasting from the radio, I don't know. It's these thingies. Lady Gaga, she just won. And she's blasting from the radio and you're singing at the top of your lungs and you would never do that anywhere else in this world. That's the stuff, that's the essence that we want to grab and translate into how you talk to people. So no more being your humble, cute self in your emails. Hey, Jill, I really hope that we work together. You know, that's doing something that you think the recipient wants to see or hear. And the bolder you are, the more exciting it is for everybody. How many people are bold in their emails? Not many. How many people are informal in their emails? I don't mean go ahead and misspell everything. You know, like don't use bad grammar. You don't have to capitalize everything. But if you're informal, I'm going to know you're an informal person. Somebody yesterday called me and said, I saw your website and your photo, and I was really hopeful that when I talked to you on the phone, it would match what I saw, and I'm so relieved because we just started off joking off the bat. And this is somebody that I hope gives us an awful lot of money in a sponsorship. So you just like be yourself is basically, I'm saying it the very long way, but your tone needs to match. So if you guys are still writing in a very businessy tone, whatever that means for you, we have an FMC specifically for the purpose of posting and saying, can I email you something? Or can you guys read this thing right here and letting us all comment on, is it exactly your brand? Is it too friendly? Is it too informal? Is it not formal enough? Does it read like you're Kate Middleton? There's a real English theme today. Okay, does that make sense? So I want you guys to be authentic. I want you to personalize it, but I want you to do it everywhere, not just the copy of your site. And if you guys feel like, I don't know what you're talking about, I can't do that by myself, that's for copywriters. You can go ahead and hire a copywriter. But just because they're a professional doesn't mean they're your voice. I can't tell you enough how many times people hire other people. I'm not going to name names, but just talking about my podcast buddy who hires people to write things for him because he hates writing. And in fact, he's terrible with the English language, unless he's talking. But everything that he then produces, reads, is very straight. He's not a straight guy. He's very funny. But you would never know that if you got one of his emails. Drives me bananas. So I don't want that for you guys, okay? You can still have a signature in your email, but maybe make it more your brand, okay? Enough of this copying and pasting and how is she doing it, unless it's inspiring to you, unless it resonates with you in a way. I'm not getting enough questions, and I'm thinking a lot of you are either really confused or understanding every single word that I say, the latter of which is probably not true. Are you guys understanding everything? Do you have questions? It would also be really helpful if you guys talked a little bit more about your brands. And if it doesn't even show up yet and you think it's a work in progress, what did you intend? Or what do you want to have us see? Kim, thank you. You're the best cheerleader in the world. And if you guys want us to take a peek at your brand, put your URLs in again. And if I have time today, I might go and look at some of your websites. Hi, Cheryl. Cheryl, so number one was you need to know what you believe in. You need to write that down and think about that for the next 4 weeks. Number two is you want to think about your tone of voice everywhere. Copy on your website, emails you send out, newsletter and otherwise, phone calls, webinars, when you get on a stage. Okay, for those of you who just put the URL in, this is long before I'm going to look at them. Other people can click through and look at your sites. What do you want people to grasp from your website? I'm sorry, I meant for you to put that in with your URL. So Catherine, what do you want people to see when they go to your site? Nora, what do you want people to know or see or feel? Really, the question is, what do you want us to feel? Okay, but Katerina, okay, you're all doing it backwards. Everybody put your goal with your URL in the same thing so we can click through. Okay, all right, we got that straight. I'm just going to keep yelling at you if you do it wrong. Okay, number 3 tip for branding your business. My tip is, are you thanking your customers or your clients? And the reason I'm suggesting this or saying this as a tip, it's a huge one in branding that's lost. Kind of goes hand in hand with marketing, but it's all about the feel. So I'm bringing it up here because a lot of you really want to get the branding right. Even after this webinar, you're going to talk to your designer. You're going to work on the design yourself. You're going to make sure that everything matches everywhere and all of your branding experience, it should be an experience, is a beautiful one. And I totally get what you're trying to tell me. And I trust you because I trust it. And then I'm going to go spend your money. And then I buy something from you or I pay you for your services. And then after that transaction is done, You're done with me. There's nothing after. From the invoice at the end of the project, which a lot of you don't change the template, big mistake. You want that to align with your branding. All the way to, and then I never heard from her again. This is even for potential customers or clients. I don't know how many of you are handwriting. I love doing that myself, except for what I talked about in the FMC earlier or last week about people who handwrite things and don't put their names on them and send them to you anonymously in the mail like a stalker. Don't do that. But otherwise, how are you sending out, we'll call them after the facts, okay? So you guys have done the transaction. You've done the deed. You've gotten the gig. You've made the sale. You've nailed the thingy that you were hoping to nail. What happens after? Are you following up with people? Are you thanking them? Are you sending thank you notes? Are they getting an email from you 2 months later, just checking in? Are you contacting them 6 months later, just checking in? Is all that stuff that follows, is being thankful and grateful at the other side of it, matching your brand? You know, the cycle of doing business is not, let me work and work and work and work up to the sale and then start all over again and work and work and work and work up to the sale. Okay? That's not how it works. You want to work and work and work and work up to the sale, and then it's like you create 2 groups. There's the people that you always are trying to bring in who are newbies, but there are all these people who already fell in love with you, who already trust you, who already live and breathe with you and bought your stuff. And you want to treat them like gold. You want to stay personal with them, and you don't want to let them lose out on all of this beautiful branding. You know, you want them to stay with you forever, right? Theoretically. Okay. Oh, you guys are getting good. Okay, so much better. I just have to yell at you, and then it works. That's hilarious, Catherine and Lori. Did you guys see you both put the same thing? Lori, I love that you follow up 1 to 2 days later. Lori is a shining example for everyone. Lori, then what do you do 2 months later? Are you doing things? I would love tips on colors and font. Oh, everybody go click on Nora's. Come back, though. Go click on Nora's and tell her if you like the colors and the fonts. Oh, nostalgic like a warm hug. Yes, Nor, you should. I'm just kidding. I know it's a typo. Okay, that's my bit on thanking customers. Where does the time go, guys? You keep talking to each other and checking on each other and giving each other tips. I'm going to go for tip number 4 for branding your business. A lot of you just want money and you're looking for customers and clients and you're forgetting about the whole partnership thing and finding other businesses or other brands that align with yours that you can partner with. So you don't want to go after, let's pretend you are a brand that's all about animals. You're animal focused. You love dogs and cats. Maybe you're a pet walker. You're not going to align with a company that sells fur coats, right? Because that kind of is like the antithesis of your brand. Even if they said, we'll give you $5 million. I'm so sorry, but it's not a good idea to partner with a brand like that. You guys, for those of you who are a little more into your branding and you feel comfortable with it and you're getting good traction from asking people, what do you get from my brand? Can you go and find partners who align with your brand? I mean, they could be anything, but they make people feel the same way that you do. What just popped into my brain, I can't remember the name of it, but that shoe company that sells you sneakers, and if you buy a pair, they send a pair to Asia to children who can't afford shoes. You guys know what I'm talking about. Tom's! God, Nora, you're fast. So for those of you who have a big charity vendor, for those of you who run charities, that's a beautiful partnership. It doesn't mean that if you don't sell shoes, you can't partner with Tom's. But if, as you go about your day, because a lot of us moms are in the car, as you go about your day, you can come up in your brain with brands where you're going, oh, you know what? They make people feel the way I want my brand to feel. The reason I'm suggesting the partnership is because if you partner with them, they very well might help, the partnership might help your potential customers and clients get your brand a little more. Because they're bigger, they're better, or they've just done really well locally, and they make people feel a certain way. Maybe there's a candle shop in town that makes people feel warm and fuzzy. Nora could partner with them because she wants her customers and clients to feel that warm and fuzzy that a candle shop would make you feel. That would be a beautiful partnership in the way of branding. It would help your people and you. figure out how to make everybody go, oh, Lori, you missed number 3. That's okay. I'm going to go over them at the end. Number 3 was, are you thanking your customers? And there were so many words in there. I'll come back to it. So number 4 is creating partnerships that align with your brand. Not align with the money that you want. Not align with, I know somebody over at Coca-Cola. That's lovely. Go for it. But you want to start thinking about brands that make people feel the way you want to make people feel. Those will be much more successful partnerships. Those will be partnerships that will bring new customers to you because it's like a nailed it, win-win with the branding. Does that make sense? Okay. Okay. Number 5, because we have so much more to talk about after this. Number 5, and I hope you still have questions other than Lori's. Number 5, I really, really, really implore you all to ask your customers or your clients or potential customers and clients, namely people in the market that you're trying to serve, people in the group that you're trying to get to buy your stuff. Ask them questions, just like you're doing in this chat room. It is no different. It's comfy in here. It's safe in here, mostly because I'm telling you to do it. But I'm now telling you to go outside of here eventually and ask people, what do you think of my brand? Anytime you interact with anybody, you can even use pointed word. Does your brand make you feel loved? Does your brand does my brand make you feel hilarious? If you all want to go to my favorite website, I think ever, artisanalpencilsharpening.com. It was started by a comedic journalist who actually literally sells you pencil sharpening. You can pay him $100, you mail him your pencil, and he will sharpen it artisanally. It's the best thing in the world. I love it. And if you go to the website, it's that beautiful sarcastic, it looks very serious. But by the name alone, the giant words at the top of the site, you know it's a hilarious joke. And you have to sit there and go, oh my God, is he for real? And there's really a way to buy the service, even though it's all a joke. It's so funny. Just go there and see what I'm talking about. But that's really what you want to do, is ask people like, hey, if he were to ask, hey, thank you, Amanda. Hey, does my site make you laugh, or do you not get the joke? And if a lot of people said to him, I don't understand. Are you selling artisanal pencils that have been sharpened? Are you like, the joke is that it's the service and you actually have to supply him the pencil. It's so ridiculous. But you get it when you get to his site. You get it from all of his branding. You get it from the copy on that website. Yes, he does, Nora. And I was saying earlier today, I fully regret that once upon a time he charged like $12.99 or $19.99 or something that at the time I was like, I'm not paying $20 for him to sharpen a pencil just because I love the joke so much. Now I fully regret that decision. Anyway, so I want you guys to ask customers for feedback. You can do that by way of phone. You can do that by way of having people sit at your computer and talk to you while they're looking at your site. That's an excellent one. You can ask people to sit at their computer, talk to their phone voice recorder. Hey, I'm looking at your site right now and I'm clicking around it, because you get immediate feedback from them. When you send out an email, hey, I'm trying to be friendlier in my emails. Did that come off that way, or does it still read very businessy? Ask the people you know will be honest with you. Mostly, the members of the FMC will tell you what's up. Also, I just want you guys to know, what did you start to, asking questions. Yeah, you know what? And the more you ask questions and the less you talk about what you do, the more we're going to be intrigued by what you do. Right, Liz? Are you finding that? More people are going, oh, well, what do you do if you're asking me this question? You know, and they're actually asking because they're genuinely interested. Does that make sense? Yeah, I know. It's like a sociological trick. It's like we're fooling people and they don't know. We won't tell anybody. Okay, so I just want to end the tips by telling you, if you don't know or remember, the logo story, where I've been working with the same graphic designer forever. And at the very beginning of the Founding Moms, where both of us didn't know really what it would turn into, I went online and I found and purchased a little cartoon picture. I wanted it to be cartoon because I wanted you guys to know that we're silly. I'm silly. We're all silly. I chose something. I gave it to her. It was black and white. And I said, let's go with like a pinkish because it's for women. And let's go with a greenish color. And we put together this logo. It was beautiful. She did a great job. It was very cute. We used it for years. It was a logo of a woman carrying a briefcase, waving goodbye to a man with an apron on, standing in the kitchen holding the baby, waving goodbye. So she's heading off to work, and he's saying goodbye, I'm going to take care of the baby and cook. And I thought, role reversal, how cool. We're bucking the system. We're fighting the fight. People are going to get that when they want to join the founding mom. Used it for a long time. Then we opened up a founding exchange in Mexico. And culturally, it is not acceptable there. Did I know that? No. Did I ask people before we launched there? No. So all of a sudden, all of these women did not want to come to a founding exchange because it's offensive in Mexico to portray a man that way. We don't have to get into a political discussion now. That's just the way it is. So the designer removed the man and the baby in the kitchen, and we just had it a woman with a briefcase. That was all it was. And so it dumbed down the whole idea that I wanted to send out into the world. It took away from the hilarity of the cuteness. This is harder to talk about. I don't have a logo here. Oh. Anyway, if you type in Founding Moms and look it up on Google, I'm sure you can find an old logo. So we have since asked a lot of people, and it turns out, you're never going to believe this. It turns out not every woman likes the color pink. What? I know it's crazy, guys. I mean, like, how stupid was I? I don't even care for pink that much. I like hot pink a lot, but whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I was sexist in that decision. Stupid. Because I came up with, what do I think everybody else is going to like? So now our colors in our logo currently, I don't know if it's at the top of your webinar screen, but our colors are like a bumblebee. See, Lori doesn't like pink. Lori, you wouldn't even be here if it was still pink. Now we're black and yellow. Not because of the hip hop song either. But we are colors that are not based on gender. Hello, a little late in that game for somebody who runs a women's organization. So even I got it wrong for like a really long time. So I am now imploring you to go ask people more often, and I have tools for you to do that. The man in the kitchen works in Sweden. Thank you, Katerina. No, she's long gone. We buried her. She had a lovely service. No, she's no longer. So for those of you in the FMC, for those of you not in the FMC, you should go watch this anyway. But for those of you in the FMC, course number 33 is called, let's face it, it's all about Facebook. It's with a Facebook expert named Renee Mulder. And the reason I'm bringing it up to you is because I'm not discussing during this webinar all about how to do branding on your socials. And so watching her face, it's just generally a great course on Facebook. But you want to be thinking about branding when you're watching that course, because your branding can get a lot of help on the socials. You can post your logo in the FMC and say, what do you guys think? There are a lot of you with artwork or websites or logos or branding materials that are mediocre at best, and you clearly asked a designer and no one else. And again, I get it. Your designer, like, they're supposed to just know. But hot tip, your designer is fantastic at designing, not at understanding you and your brand and the business you're building. I don't know why people think that that's, like, the designer's going to get it when you explain, oh, I sell widgets. Like, oh, okay, I have the perfect logo for you. No, that comes from you. That's all about you. Thank you, Amanda. There's the course you have to go watch. Okay, so I'm going to talk about tools, and then I'm going to read you prizes. Don't go anywhere, because I'm going to tell those of you not in the FMC what you're going to win today. Win? Get if you join the FMC. And Amanda, if you don't mind putting in the join link in there, because you're just on a link roll, thank you so much. And Amanda, by the way, is our social media expert in the FMC, so you can also ask her stuff. So tools. Let's talk about tools. First up, wait, I wrote it down. Oh, here it is. If you go to brandmentions.com, go to brandmentions.com, you can sign up and find mentions of your brand all over the internet. You can find mentions of your competitors' brands all over the internet. I like this because you can follow, if you say, have a competitor who is really, really good at branding, you can figure out where they're showing up, where they're putting their branding. It might give you ideas, not to be competitive with them, but oh, wait, that's a great idea to go and put my branding over here, to go do this with my branding. Oh, you know what? Pinterest didn't work for us either, so maybe I'm going to do something on Twitter that worked. Brandmentions.com, check that out. It's an awesome tool. And by the way, for those of you who don't need any tools, I don't know who doesn't need tools, but you can start putting your questions in or copy and paste your website so I can go in and just yell at you about your website and your branding. Okay, tool number 2. If you go to brandgifts.com, brandgifs.com, you guys, you can make gifts with your branding, okay? Like, there's nothing cooler. You can upload your logo and make gifts that you can text people. I don't totally know why that's necessary, but we're not only talking about things that are necessary. We're talking about things that bring you joy. And I would love to get a GIF in an email from you. In fact, I do love the people who email and in their signature is like there's one woman who emailed me and in her signature was her URL. And then she somehow created a GIF of herself going like this. It was so cute. I loved it because I got to see who she was. And we got one. Judith, no fur coats or hunting. That's a very hot topic in Africa. Judith, I'm going to go to your site in 1 second. The last tool I have, Typeform. You guys know I love this. Amanda's going to put in the link because she's an amazing human being. If you go to Typeform, you can create, it's not just a survey. It is an awfully fun way to ask people questions. So if you don't want to ask them in just like a Facebook group, like the FMC, whatever, you can create a Typeform. You can put it in your signature and your emails. You can send it out in an email to 20 people. Would you mind clicking on this link? I don't even like to say it's a survey. Would you mind clicking on this link and filling out this form and letting me know what you think about my brand? Right? Some of you, I just came up with this in my brains. Some of you can send it out and say, if you fill out this form at the end of your purchase, I'll give you 10% off. If your branding is that important to you or you're that behind on branding, you can offer incentive to people. Instead of paying somebody, you can kind of pay somebody and offer some sort of discount or we don't like that word. You know what I mean. Offer something in exchange for filling out this form because it does feel a little bit like, well, I'm asking people to fill something out all about me. But by the way, if you have customers and clients, particularly past ones, they're really good to ask because they've gotten a better feel for you. They've gotten a better feel for who you are as a founder, what you're trying to build or what you are building and the things that they loved and why they invested money in you. Ask them. Write down the adjectives they use about you. Send them that form and they're probably going to fill it out for you. Okay? That's the link to Typeform that Amanda just put in. Okay. Those of you in the FMC or not, course number 7 is called Storytelling Quest. It is a course that I give, yours truly. I want you to watch it because if you guys can really nail it, like Nora does for a living, on how to tell a story, on taking people on a story of your own, of your product, of your service, you're going to have an easier time figuring out what your branding should be if you don't know. You will have a much easier, here's the story I want to tell. And I mean, as I said, mine in one sentence, I want you to know that business doesn't have to be boring. Ta-da! You know, that's it. There it is. But, you know, I can tell that story in a much longer way. So if you are to work on a story, go ahead and do it. It'll help you in a lot of areas. But course number 7. Okay, for those of you who have not yet joined, for those of you who are joined and are here, hold on because I'm going to go through the websites. But for those of you who have not yet joined, today if you join in the next 3 hours, you have till 3 p.m. CST. I'm going to give you 2 VIP coaching sessions with me, one-on-one. We're going to do this with just your business. We're going to talk about whatever you want, but we're going to do it for an entire 60 minutes. All you, baby. Retail value, $1 billion. So you get that if you join today for only $35 a month. It's quite a deal. Also, Regina, I love you. Also, you can pick one of 3 prizes. You can either also, on top of the VIP coaching, choose a 45-minute document audit of your business by the great Megan Mathias, not only an FMC member, but one of the best attorneys in the world. She wants to evaluate your processes and identify gaps in contracts or documentation. She loves helping women. Megan Mathias is an option for you. If you don't need that, you know Amanda, who's been helping with the links in here? When it comes to social media, do you know what to do? No. The answer is no. None of us do, but Amanda does. So she's a freelance writer. She's offering a social media audit of 2 of your channels. What? So if you hate coming up with content, she wants to help you, okay? So that's what you need to do. You need to choose her, especially if you don't need any legal stuff. Or if you're like, Jill, my social media is perfect. I know everything about the law. Then you can have an hour of free time with Camila, who runs Salela Strategic Bookkeeping. She knows everything you need to know about finance and bookkeeping for your business. Do we care about bookkeeping for a business? I do not. So you want to work with a bookkeeper, this is your chance to try it out. So one more time, if you go to the join link or just go to foundingmoms.com, you can choose the annual membership or the monthly membership. And if you join by 3 o'clock Central, that's where my clock is, then you will also get 2 free VIP coaching sessions and either a 45-minute document audit with Megan Mathias, who's quite expensive. She's an attorney. Or Amanda, social media guru. She's quite expensive. It's amazing. Or Camila of a bookkeeping company. So the strategic bookkeeping, it's such a mouthful. And she's also wildly expensive. The last 2 things are sort of maybe lies. I don't know. But it doesn't matter because they're all pretty incredible. I wouldn't offer you prizes if they weren't really good people and really, really, really knowledgeable in what they know. Okay. Junie B. Jones with a 5-year-old. I don't know why you said that, Regina, but I love it anyway. Okay. So I'm going to click on, I told Ms. Africa, where are you, Judith? All right. Everybody scroll up and go to WazaniAfricaTravel.com. Judith, I want to know. You're sustainable, you're philanthropic, you're fabulous. Let's work this through. If anybody else wants me to do this, we have 9 minutes. I'm going to do this fast. No one can pronounce the name. Wazani, is that it? It means come to Africa. Should you change it? This is an excellent question because I didn't even touch on this. I want to say, Judith, to you without going through your website because I don't know what you want us to feel when we look at your website. If your name is Wazani Africa Travel, I just want to give you a couple of examples of why that should not matter at this point for the amount you've invested. And I imagine some people have purchased from you. Mahershala Ali, Barack Obama, Lady Gaga. I'm trying to think of names that have been messed up for a lot of people. And yet the majority of the country figured it out, and at some point we knew how to pronounce Mahershala Ali. If none of you know who that is, he won at the Oscars this weekend. Didn't he? Didn't he win something? Anyway, he's an actor. And when I first saw his name, I was like, oh, there is no way. Somebody tell him to name himself Ali. But we did it. I'm very proud of myself. So pronunciation, the short of it, don't care. Doesn't matter. We don't. Lupita Nyong'o. Yeah, Jennifer. I don't even know if I got it right. Idina Menzel was hard? Was that hard? Oh, like Adina? I love Idina Menzel. Don't say anything anymore, Nora, or we're going to be enemies. So, who else needs me to go through their site? I know there were some of you up above. Put your link in again. Oh, yeah, that's right, Travolta. I forgot about that. Yeah, so people might butcher it, but you know what? Judith, what you could do is do a play on it. Like underneath Wazani Africa Travel on the top left of your site, instead of where it says Southern Africa, Safaris and Beyond, you could put one of those dictionary definitions of how to pronounce Wazani so that I don't feel like an idiot when I call you. I don't really think it matters. But if you really want to play with it and make it more playful, because guess what we're going to go do? We're going to go to Africa and play with lions, right? Isn't that the thing? So let us play with it. Let us have fun with it. Make fun of the fact that you called it something no one can pronounce. I think that's beautiful. Regina wants you to move the pictures up. I think she's right. Okay, Jennifer, if everybody wants to click on Jennifer's link, we have a few minutes. We're going to do 2 more. Localcolorjewelry.com. But when I'm looking back at your comment, handwoven fine jewelry, I'm not going to look at it anymore because I don't know what you want us to feel. What do you want us to feel? Same with you, Kim. What do you want us to feel so that we can all click through and go yes or no? What do you want us to feel? Quickly tell me. We're running out of time. Type faster. Crafty. So, okay. Local color jewelry. Or we can do this backwards. Okay, welcomed. Oh, that's what you don't know, Jennifer. Got it. Sorry, but you didn't say that. Okay. If you don't know what your branding is, I want to suggest to you that while I can tell you the feel I get from the art, that has nothing to do with what you want the branding to be or who you are. So if you want to make sure that we all understand who you are and what you're selling, the first person who needs to be clear on that is you, not us, right? So I can tell you exactly what kind of branding this is, but I'm not going to, because I want you to really get a grasp on by asking people, like, you know, when you hold my broken necklace, whatever that, I'm just making fun now, but that beautiful thing with beads on it, under the earrings. Like when you hold this, what do you feel? What do I make you feel? I also don't know if you want your branding to be about the actual jewelry or you the jeweler. Okay? Does that make sense? Kim, I'm going to quickly click on yours, and then I'm going to do one more because I saw one more come in. Guys, click on teenworldconfidential.com. Do we feel welcomed? Yes! Oh, Kim, you changed it. Yes! I'm so excited because, guys, this used to just be a static photo, I think. And it was slides. And maybe this is called technically slides. I don't know what it's called. But I love all of it. It's too many photos. Now I'm going bananas. I love that first picture we land on, and then I love seeing walking. And I think that's you and your daughter. I'm totally guessing. The people with you and the other women don't need that. That could be on other pages. You and the family or whoever that is. All the other ones, I would just love to see you walking around. This business is, you're going to talk about the talk. You're going to teach us things. You're a trusted expert. It says on the site. So I just want to know who you are, and I want to see you. Does that make sense? Okay. Yeah. Slow the loop down. Yeah, people want to stare at your face. It's so beautiful. Okay, I'm clicking now. Oh, hold on. I forgot to look at the comment. I have to go away from here to look at your sites. Lori. I don't capitalize the L. People think it's IDC. But what do you want me to glean from your site? How do you want me to feel? What do you want me to look for, Lori? Oh, I'm not scrolling down. Lori, I'm ready when you are. And does anybody else have a site? Or we might stop there. 3 minutes, waiting for Lori. And hopefully by picking at these sites, you guys get it. Ooh, put the HTTP in there. We don't have time for me to copy and paste. Isn't that ridiculous? Oh, you can't do colons. Liz, hold on. Okay, but Liz, what do you want me to look at? Lori. Okay, so since you're not answering and I want to get in here, LDC Tech Support. I'm looking at your site right now, LDC Tech Support, and honestly, it's devoid of branding. I don't know. This looks like a tech support website. That's not good. I see that you've been awarded things, but do you want me to feel welcome? Do you want me to feel like you're the most knowledgeable? Do you want me to feel like you only wear beige? I don't know. Or it's my computer that I'm only looking at hands on a laptop and some logos. I don't know. Is that what I'm supposed to think? Okay. So I'm moving on. Okay. Hold on. Liz, why did yours come in funny? Hold on, Liz. Oh, crap. No, Liz, I'm coming. It's not opening on my computer. Okay, it's not you, it's me. Okay, sorry. Liz, what do you want me to feel? Liz, homepage too much? Oh, like is there too much on your homepage? That's my guess from what you wrote. Oh, you're asking this because we all just told Kim that it was too much. So, Liz, the difference with yours and with Kim's, that I like Kim's better, is because there's nothing that looks like it's not a lifted photo from some website that you purchased these photos from, or got for free or whatever. They look like standardized photos, and that's never warm. Even if they're beautiful photos, it's not making you feel like I'm going to get to know you. Who are you? Accounts for management. Why choose us? What we offer. Why choose you and what you offer does not have to be on the homepage. I'll go look for those if I'm interested in investing time in looking around. At the bottom, you know how I feel about forms. We're not going to go there right now. But yeah, I think, Liz, your branding is almost missing from your site because it needs to be you. Because again, not unlike Kim, we're hiring you, right? Okay, I'm so sorry. Oh, Catherine got it. Catherine, remind me, what are we looking for on yours? And then we're going to stop because then we have to go. You know what? Forget that. I'm just going to tell you. Wait, where is it? JK Naturals. You guys, what's with these? Oh, that's not stock photos, is it? That's a real photo, isn't it? That's your stuff. That's interesting. So I love the people thing, but here's the thing about people. I'm a person. I like to connect with other people. I'm not going to connect with backs of heads. I'm going to connect with eyeballs. I don't know why they're turned around. Are they too sweaty and they smell too bad? So I like that I can see the options that I can purchase better underneath, but I also like that above it, You're telling me what it is and you're showing me some human beings. You're making it human. I love that, but I don't care about the bras and the guy. I don't care because I don't know who they are. I love the girl below. I love her holding it up. Why isn't she up to? I love the two girls on the right. I can tell this is for young people. This is not for me. This is clearly for white girls. That's what this says to me. Does that make sense? I hope it makes some sense. We could pick this apart a lot more. It does look trustworthy, Catherine. It does look premium to a degree. It does look like a Lululemon ad. I agree with Nora. Okay, I love you guys. I have to go. I love you so much. Thank you for coming. Let's keep talking about this in the FMC. For those of you not in the FMC, come join us. We'll just keep going because there's too much about branding. We could do this for 12 hours, and you could be sweating like I am, even though I'm not wearing pants. I love you guys. Have a great rest of the week. I'll see you next month at the next webinar.